Do you like the policies of Joe Biden, but aesthetically he's too worked with segregationists for you? Do you want an old school politician who's gonna tuck you in at night and tell you everything is fine while simultaneously refusing to change the system that got us the likes of Donald Trump to begin with? Do you care more about the aesthetics of progress rather than actual progress, especially when it's delivered to you in an Aaron Sorkin-like monologue in Norwegian? Then let me suggest Pete Buttigieg for all who want it. That video was too spicy for TikTok, by the way. They took it down. I'm being censored, ladies and... Pete Buttigieg is the kind of candidate who, since he was 12, has been thinking about the most politically correct answer he could give to questions he may be asked on the debate stage. Which, by the way, is what I thought about him even before that famous Twitter thread from the girl who grew up with him. Hailed as white gay Obama by the mostly white media class, Pete is the ideal candidate for inaction, technocratic solutions, all while uttering a whole bunch of sound bites where he seems like he's saying things but he's literally not saying anything.
In order to address this, we have to recognize that this is not about t-shirts. This is about much deeper underlying issues, and we're not going to move forward unless we take those issues seriously.
Oh wow, how incredibly insightful. Here's Pete talking about body cameras in that same interview.
There are a lot of concerns. There are a lot of issues to work through, legal issues, privacy issues, but this is also something we have to take seriously, and we are, and we're looking into it. But again, this isn't about technology any more than it's about t-shirts. This is about us. This is about our values. This is about our community. And we've got to do this together, and those of us in elected leadership have to ask ourselves, of everything we're doing, is this going to drive people apart, or is it going to pull us together?
Now, you might think I'm being unfair to Pete. He's just trying to address both sides of Black Lives Matter and its reactionary counterpart, All Lives Matter. And since Pete Buttigieg has a relatively short track record in charge of Indiana's 4th largest city, it should be hard to nail him on any of this, right? Wrong. There's a reason why Pete's polling at nearly 0% with black voters, and his sexuality is not as big as a reason as his campaign, who leaked a memo to the press, would have you believe. Starting with the fact that he fired South Bend's first black police chief months into his first term as mayor because of an ongoing legal battle where the police chief recorded officers he speculated of being racist and going behind his back to the mayor to get him fired. The police chief successfully sued the city for $50,000. The city official who revealed the unethical and racist content of the tapes was then also fired for her role in the affair, and then she successfully sued the city for $235,000. And this kind of attitude festering in South Bend led to Pete's police force paying out $1.3 million in settlements for police brutality and civil rights violations. Pete also oversaw a 50% decrease in the number of black officers in South Bend as they felt like there were no opportunities for advancement. Mayo Pete has dealt with police brutality very poorly. After one of his officers with a racist past killed a 54-year-old black resident at a moment when he wasn't wearing his body camera, Buttigieg gave a press conference as the family waited in the other room, skipped the family vigil, and then gave a speech to the police instead.
You running for president and you want black people to vote for you?
I'm not asking for your vote.
You ain't gonna get it either.
So after all of this, how is Pete trying to win over the black demographic? With his comprehensive Douglas plan, which seeks to invest in African American communities. Parts of the plan are nearly identical to Kamala Harris's neoliberal Pell Grant garbage that everyone made fun of. But how will Pete sell this plan to black voters? By lying to them about black support, of course. Yes, Pete's campaign literally lied about black community leaders' support for his plan in the HBCU newsletter. The campaign went as far as listing 3 prominent supporters by name who were all shocked when they found out that they were endorsing Pete Buttigieg and his Douglas plan. 2 of them had not endorsed anyone for president yet, and 1 had actually endorsed Bernie Sanders. Of course, you didn't hear about that outside of TYT and The Intercept because the mainstream media is rock hard for Pete. This report by The Intercept was dropped literally the same week as the last Democratic debate on MSNBC, and no one brought it up. As a matter of fact, there was a moment when Kamala Harris could have brought it up, but she botched that, probably on purpose. Now, Pete originally rose to prominence with some very progressive ideas like being young, abolishing the Electoral College and adding seats to the Supreme Court. But then, after he started diligently raising money from the wealthy and openly courting Washington lobbyists, he quickly hit the center as hard as he could and began talking about how impossible it is to pass Medicare for all, and that free college is actually elitist, and that millionaires shouldn't get to go to school for free. Yeah, dude, we should just eliminate public schools in its entirety because rich kids might end up taking advantage of it. We should just privatize the roads and the fire department while we're at it too. Seems like a great idea, Pete. So if you parse Pete's rhetoric and the overwhelming media love he has gotten since day one, you arrive at one truth he absolutely stands for. He really wants to be president, and he's willing to do whatever he can, and he's willing to say whatever he can to get there. And that's part of the reason why I don't trust him. Now, this is all the information I could cover in a short time frame, but I will be doing a deeper dive on my Twitch later at twitch.tv/HasanAbi and on my YouTube as Hasan Piker. I'm Hasan Piker, and this has been The Breakdown. Never miss another breakdown video by ringing the bell below. You'll get notified whenever we publish something new. Also, don't forget to join TYT today. Download our TYT Plus app on your phone or head on over to tyt.com/join.